Funky Friday. Funky Friday. Funky Friday.
What's up, everybody? Steve Witchell here. Funky Friday, May 21st, 2021. I'm coming to you live from New Orleans, noon Central Time. It's a little afternoon. I got a couple minutes late here, but 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. So when we do this every Monday through Friday, and it's Friday, we're going into the weekend. Yay! Who's playing? Anybody playing? Let me know where you are and who you are and what's going on if you're playing tonight or this weekend. Say hello. Make sure you click on that link in the description to let StreamYard show your name so I can call you by name and show you on the screen. It's very exciting. A lot of people are getting back to work. I have been working since for about a month now, slowly but surely getting back to playing, and it feels good. And I have a gig tonight and Saturday and Sunday. Those of you who don't know, I play on Bourbon Street. I played a club called The Famous Store. I played bass. And I've been playing in New Orleans on Bourbon Street for 11 years now. And during the course of this time, there was a little period of time where I wasn't working. And I was always thinking about writing an article on stuff that got me to where I was. What were the things that I did to get me to where I was playing full time, making really good money on Bourbon Street? Because I'm from New Jersey originally. And I wanted to know the things that, aside from me being good at my job, good at playing bass, what were the little things that I did? So I wrote an article, and that article I posted a couple days ago on the Cover Band Central page, and that one's been up on the website forever. And it's the first article I ever wrote. It's really prior to Cover Band Central being a thing, even. I wrote this article, and it got good responses, and that's what led me to writing, or led me to starting Cover Band Central. Dylan's in Naperville, Illinois. What's up, Dylan? And Michana, I want to say, in Wichita, Kansas. All right. So the first point I wrote in that article was treat it like a job. And I've gotten a little bit of flack for that from people, but I want to emphasize how this is really important, and how if you're working in a bar or a club or a restaurant, you are a salesperson. You are there primarily to sell drinks. And I know people hate hearing me say that, and I know people get all up in arms. No, me, I am studied for 20 years at my craft, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's very important. And that's what gets you to that level. That's what gets you to play in a band and play with any sort of regularity, is you have to be good at what you're doing. You have to be good at your craft. But the bottom line is that most people don't really care. Like I said, I've been working on Bourbon Street for 11 years, and there's a manager that oversees a bunch of the different clubs, and he's been the manager for probably the last 3 or 4 years of these many clubs and one of which, or several of which I play at. I'm fairly certain that he does not know my name. I've talked to him. I've said hello to him, shook his hand maybe 3 times, 4 times, maybe tops. I know his name, but I'm fairly certain he doesn't know my name, nor does he care about my name. Not only does he not care about my name, he doesn't care about how good I am at my instrument. He doesn't care what kind of strings I use. He doesn't care whether I use a pick or my fingers. He doesn't care what kind of amp I use, what kind of cables I use. A lot of the things that come up in discussion in the Cover Band Central group, this guy and most club owners or managers do not care about at all. They care about numbers. They care about what the draw is at the end of the night. Did you do a good job? Did you sell booze? Did you make the club money? Then you did a good job. Did you play Sweet Home Alabama? He doesn't care. if you did and the crowd got excited about it and they went and spent money, then great. But he doesn't care. Freddie's in New York. Fred Gonzalez here. New York is a big place. I'm from New Jersey originally. So the reason I want to talk about this is because people get so involved in just arguing about certain things, about aspects of your particular instrument or playing in a band and stuff. And what I want people to remember is how important some of the stuff is or is not. What's really important, and this is again just for people who are playing bars, clubs, and restaurants. If you're playing weddings, you're not selling booze there. You're getting hired to entertain for the wedding. If you're playing a festival or anything like that, yeah, there is an aspect of that, the selling of alcohol and stuff too. But it's not as much as in a bar or in a club. It's your job. You are primarily a salesperson of alcohol. And I know people hate it, but that is the absolute truth. So you need to be aware of that all of the time. And I am, and I like selling. I grew up, my dad was a salesman. I grew up working in retail sales for 20 years. I was in sales, in management for most of that time. And I understood sales. I got good at it. So we make sure we sell from the stage, not only ourselves as a band and selling, playing the music, trying to sell to the crowd. You're always a salesman. I've been really reading. I've been reading a book about sales last couple of days, and I want to emphasize that aspect of this. You're selling yourself all the time in life, all the time. You're selling yourself, whether you know it or not. But on stage, you're picking songs that you're trying to sell to the crowd. You want them to respond, to dance, to cheer, to tip the band, to come back and see you again. But most of all, you want them spending money at the bar, because that's how your band is going to do well. That's how you're going to get asked back. That's how you're going to perhaps make more money. We do, it's customary in New Orleans for people to take tips, and pretty much every performer in New Orleans takes tips. There's street performers all over. Every band has a tip jar. So it's customary for us every so often, 45 minutes, hour, where the singer walks around the room with the tip jar, and we'll sell it from the stage. First, the singer will announce it. And this is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm fairly good at it, is when that singer goes out, we'll start a song that I'm going to sing, but we'll play music, the intro to that song, and I'll just let it loop over and over again while I talk on the mic. And I sell it. I sell that tip jar to that crowd. And I don't have a script, much like I do here. When I'm doing this thing, I hit record, and I don't have a script. I'm not reading anything. I'm just talking. And I do the same thing on stage. And usually it works out pretty well. People usually hear it. Maybe I'll make a joke that makes people laugh, gets their attention, and gets people tipping us. And also, most of the people in the band do not drink alcohol. However, I'll still sell on stage to the crowd to buy the band a round of shots. What does that do? Even though everybody doesn't drink, what does that do is it gets people to the bar spending money. And people love it. People love doing that for the band. They make it makes them feel special. Like, oh, I bought the band a round of shots. So always keep in mind that you're a salesperson playing music, especially this weekend. If you're playing, remember that. You're a great guitar player. That's fantastic, but nobody really cares. Most people don't really care. Most people in the audience are not musicians, and they are just there for a good time with their friends, hanging out, possibly getting drunk, dancing, having a good time, want to hear songs that they know, usually, and they don't know the difference between 9s and 10s on your guitar. They don't care. Only you do. So don't get too caught up on things like that that don't matter to the audience. I mean, you should, for your craft, care about what's going to make you as good as you can be at your craft. If you're using the right strings, playing the right guitar, using the right cables, all that stuff is important for you and for the rest of the band, so you can get the job done and have a good time. Having a good time is super important too. And when you have all that stuff together, it's easier to have a good time. And the better time you have, the better time the crowd is going to have, and the more money you're going to make. It's a fact. I've been doing this for a long time, and that is absolutely true. I've been rambling and completely omitting looking at these comments. Shana said, a bartender for years and never cared, but made money for sure. Amy is in Florida. What's up, Amy? I don't know what you're talking about, Jamie. Robert said furniture moving and alcohol sales, period. I don't know about furniture moving. Dave Hamilton of Gig Gad podcast. Alcohol and food. Many establishments make more from food than booze these days. Yeah, so places that sell food. Where I play, they don't sell food. They just sell booze. So, yeah, it's true, Phil. Make tons of money on food and booze and try to pay you less for playing bars. But you still go out and do what you can, do the best you can, and sell whatever it is that establishment is selling. Make sure you're selling it too, and you can sell it without selling it. Sell it by doing the best job you can. Sell it by playing the best songs for that room, for that crowd. Sell it by having a good time. Sell it by being professional, by treating it like a job. Show up on time. Treat people with kindness. Be friendly to people. Introduce yourself. Learn people's names, especially bartenders. Learn their names and remember it. Learn at the beginning of the night and then go back later and say, hey, Stacy, thanks for, whatever. Just be a pro and realize that you are a salesperson all the time. And Jim said, just got to keep working hard and being professional. Yes, you do. But have a good time. And I encourage you all to have a good time this weekend if you're playing. If not, have a good time whatever you're doing. And be safe and be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. And as I find my thing, that's a long comment that I cannot post because it's way too long. Johnny said solid advice. They're playing tonight. Excellent, Johnny. Have a great time. And everybody, go to coverbandcentral.com, sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free, and it will get you out there a bit more as far as SEO and on the internet, and get your name out there, which is something that you want to do. All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Funky Friday.